Oof, let me share screen. A second. Maybe we start with a round of intentions and distractions. I think that would help Gideon, at least Gideon and me, sort of get back to speed. Um, Maybe you want to start, Tom?
Sure, I'd love to. Intentions are to sync with the team to give an update on the planning for TEC migration to Optimism and to hear whatever else is going on. I'd love to hear about how the Gitcoin grants round is going. And distractions, I have no distractions. I'm here 100%, not making dinner, not doing anything else. And I'll pass to Ephra.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Cool. Um, yeah, I'm feeling good and feeling focused. Just wanted to catch up with the team just to see what's happening in the TC. My only distraction is I'm just feeling a bit sick right now, but yeah, I'm feeling good. Just I pass it to Bear.
Yeah, thank you. Well, yeah, for me, intentions also to sync with the team, especially around the grants round. I think there's been some disconnect there in terms of everything going on. So I think it will be nice to be on the same page for everything and try to push forward these last days of the round. Yeah, I think that's probably my main intention. Distraction. I was just washing some dishes, but I'm done now, so I'm fully present. Pass it on to Joseph.
Distractions. I'm hungry. Apart from that, there hasn't been any distractions. Just joining the meeting just to catch up to see what's happening, the latest what's going on in the TC. That's about it. I will pass it to. I think everyone's gone, so I'll pass it back to NT.
Did you go, Sean?
Hey guys, good morning. No, I didn't. I've been having some. I had to switch my audio around, so I don't know if you missed me earlier, but doing well. Just starting my day, so not a whole lot on my mind right now, but yeah, just excited to be here and support and connect. We had the first TEC token utility session yesterday. It was Nate and I were on, and we just sort of brainstormed at a high level. I think I want to hold that space for the rest of this year, basically December and the rest of November, as just a very broad exploratory space where we can have open discussions about tech token utility, and then probably in the new year start to hone that in to be more focused on productive outcomes from those sessions. So yeah, we did some mapping yesterday and just went through some of the forum discussions, and it was really good. So those sessions are on Mondays just before the comms meeting, so noon PST, and everyone's welcome. It's open discussion for the most part.
Cool. I think then the only one left for intentions and distractions is you, Gideon.
Yeah. Intentions really just to catch up and see what's going on, and no distractions. I'll pass it back to you, Isaac.
Cool. Okay. Thanks. Well, today for our agenda, I just have the grants program. If anyone has anything else they want to talk about, feel free to just add it to the agenda or interrupt me to get it added. And so I thought of just touching on three things. First one is just like the status check of how's it going. I'll share my screen with the round manager now, and yeah, just see how we're doing as far as donations and some other metrics. One second to change screens. I'm logging into the manager right now. The other thing I want to talk about is obviously sponsors. We have quite a bit of money in our hands from sponsors. And then the other thing that's, I guess, mm, connected with the sponsors, but not, not the same thing, is just communications overall, which is our biggest focus uh, right now. So here I am. Let me change screens. Let me know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see it?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, there's a few projects pending here that we should get some votes on. I'll drop a link on the advisors channel in a second. But these were projects that applied. Most of them when the round had already started. I guess just for a quick disclaimer, overall. Um, Um, so for this round, because we had way more money in the matching pool, and also because we had to move chains and all that. I decided to leave applications open even after the round was open, which is something we haven't done before. We usually closed applications when the round started, but right now I just left them open to see what's up. And we have these projects that we have to sort of, I guess we don't have to. We were very explicit that we just guarantee um, a response if they did it early. But it'd be obviously nice if we could have a response for them, especially now in this last week of the round. But overall, this is actually the round we've had most applicants, if not one of them. I think on the first round we had 16 as well. We have 16 on this one too. And then as far as stats, so far we've had 1,300 dollars worth of donations from 788 contributions from almost 200 unique contributors. That seems to me like an indication of some civil attempt of civil attack. To be honest, because it's similar to what we saw on the past round, but you'll have to just wait and see analysis. In the average contribution is $6, pretty much. Um, that's it as far as stats. I don't know if anyone has any questions or wants to see something specific about the round.
When does the round end? Sorry, I should know this. Oh, I'm looking at it. It ends on the
Yeah, on the
29th,
20.
so in 8 days.
Yep. Yeah, we have barely 1 week, more or less.
Okay. And I know that there was for the projects that weren't early birds. I know that I did a round of evaluation on them. I think there's some really good projects in there. I would hate for them to miss out on having donations and having matching rounds. Do we have an ETA for when we will give them a decision? Or did we do that already?
Um, to be honest, in the evaluation sheet, we have 3 of us from the team. So me, Sean, and Tam. I'm happy to reach out to the advisory group, but maybe we are good enough with just making that decision, the 3 of us. In the meantime, just to get something as soon as possible. Or I don't know
Did we
how
all
everyone
agree?
feels.
Did we agree
What do you mean?
on the projects? I think that
Um,
I thought for mine, there was 4 projects that I thought were eligible or should probably go in. Did the three, you, Isaac, and I have the same vote for that?
I haven't done all of them. I'll just do right after. And I'm not sure if you, Sean, did yours. Okay, no.
Sorry, are these the new projects that came in?
Yep.
I think I just missed the memo, but I'm happy to do that. Like, I might even. It's just 4 projects, right? So
Yeah, like 4 or 5 projects. If we can get them like today or just in a few hours, I can make the transaction and just get them in
yeah,
or rejected. But
Yeah, that
I
would be
guess
great.
the
I mean,
uh-huh.
just there's
Go
also
ahead.
Bonding Curve Research Group who's in there, and I'd love for them and the other 3 projects that I thought should probably enter to get in today if they can. I know it's mid
Yeah,
round.
the Bonding Curve Research Group was already approved because it was just one. We made sort of
Got it.
soft decision on the
Yes,
group,
I
if you
remember that.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
but with
yeah,
this we
yeah.
have
Okay.
to. And I think I guess the question is it fine if we just make the decision ourselves, or do we really want to wait for the advisory group to also?
I don't think we should wait. I don't think we
Yeah,
really have time to wait.
same. Okay. Okay. Cool. So after this call, I can finish my evaluation and then just make the transaction and send a quick email to those that get accepted. Um, now, um, all right. I think that's all for the status update of the round. I don't know if there's anything else from folks here that want to check out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let me go back to Notion. 1 second. Thing I wanted to touch on is, I guess, just the sponsors overall. It's not like I have anything specific, but we had a conversation of just how important it is to make sure um, sponsors are happy and that we meet anything they request and need. Um, I've been chatting with Cassiana for a bit. I already signed the contract. I did that, I think, yesterday or on Sunday, somewhere around there. But I do have to follow up with her because I did how do you say it? I did in between the contract. I didn't follow up as much, but I have to check in with her just to see if there's anything else. I also have to um she's I anytime there's anything to communicate or that we communicate, I send it to her to just for amplification promotion. So if there's anything planned or whatever that's coming up, just let me know and I can send it directly to her. um yeah, so yeah, as far as Ocean is the contract which I already signed, and the communications, and then as far as Arbitrum, I do have to follow up with them as well. There's a few unknowns, to be honest, because um, I saw a Disruption Joe sort of say um, there's an open question with regards to how the funds are going to be distributed, right? So the idea was always to have the Arbitrum tokens, we sell them, and then we bridge the money to Gnosis Chain to convert it to TC and just distribute TC. That would require Plurality Labs to do KYC to the TC instead of every individual project. Mm, but then also, Disruption Joe sort of suggested it and was trying to push a bit on um, distributing both. So just we distribute whatever we want to distribute, and then they just we send the Arbitrum on top. That's another option, and yeah, those are 2 options we were bouncing. I'm trying to push for just doing TC because it's obviously easier and a better experience for grantees than having multiple tokens in multiple networks. But I have to check if it's I don't know if they have any sort of commitment with the DAO, or I don't know what's the deal. Oftentimes on these programs, they do not allow us to sell the tokens directly. So that's something we'll have to check and sort of accommodate to um, whatever happens. The other thing, I guess it's important to mention on the Arbitrum side is the price. Um, so they, as far as if I understood correctly, they'll send the ARB tokens at the spot price whenever uh, the distribution is said to be done. So there may be the case where we don't exactly distribute 25K from them. Maybe it's a bit more, maybe it's a bit less. I thought that was important to say. And one last bid is with an tourist space they want to make. They asked for my availability, but because I was traveling, did not do, I didn't respond, or like I just wasn't sure. So I'll follow up with them now that I'm a bit more clear, and just see what time makes sense, or depending on the time, I may just try to have some other folks in the meeting today join the activity. Um, yeah, I think that's all. I don't know if there's any questions or comments.
I just have a question. In terms of timeline, do we have any idea on when would we be receiving the funds? Would it be on time to send out payments or anything in regards with that?
I have to ask. I'm honestly not sure because this is the first time we're doing this. I'm not really sure how it works. I would guess and hope that Arbitrums is a bit easier because it's very informal. It's also not as official of a program. Um, Arbitrums grant is a different thing. Um, and as far as Ocean is a bit more formal. I just recently signed the contract. I have to send an invoice. Yada yada yada. Um, I hope payments will be done on time, but I'm just not sure. Anything else people may want to know or ask about, or any feedback? Okay, now moving on to communications. I'm pretty out of the loop with communications, so if anyone here has it more clear, I would love to just hear of what's happening, any upcoming activity, anything that needs to be done. I don't know if you're following Gideon's playbook. I don't know if we're checking Gitcoin's playbook. I don't know what's happened in the last week.
Yeah, I just think we continue to have the same problem, like not having someone following up with this on communications and being able to help out and guide Efra on what's needed. Uh, as far as I know, we have the spaces that Nate has been working on. As far as I understand, he's been crafting the tweets and the promotional tweets and the graphics for that specifically. And besides that, I don't think we have much. I think Efra probably did 1 or 2 threads last week. I think they did pretty good on Twitter. Personally, I've been trying to go through Gideon's marketing playbook, and because of the same issue, and because me not being able to also take care on this responsibility as well of communications and follow up on this, we of course haven't been able to do everything on the playbook. But there was a copy that Tam made specifically for this round of that playbook, and I've been following up on that and just kind of like checking the things that we've been able to do and just adding some comments in the things we haven't been able to do, mostly due to lack of planning. So anyone who's interested on that, you can check on that copy and see what has been done. But besides that, again, this is still a really weak spot for the team, especially for the round. I don't think there's, for the remaining of the round, I don't think there's anything planned for these upcoming days. So yeah, this is probably a good time, a good moment to try to figure things out and bring a bit more clarity. I think it's also important to bring up for everyone to know. With Isaac and I, around 2-3 weeks ago, decided that it was necessary that Efra would join and try to help us out with this. But again, because of this lack of guidance, it's been a bit complicated to do that as well. But we're paying Efra weekly. I think that was also important to know, so we can plan out and see how we can use Efra's skills and thing that we might need for communications from him. So yeah, this is kind of like the situation that I just wanted to frame and put on the table. And yeah, a bit messy, but that's where things are right now. Yeah, that's the copy. Thank you, Tom.
Cool. Well, yeah, we have to see how. I guess not solve it as in solve it. I don't think we're going to solve it in 1 week, but this is the last week. We have to make all pushes needed and just I thought of something. 1 second. Let me just quickly check. Because ideally we should just get the ideal scenario is us getting even better metrics than past round. I'm just looking at. Okay, yeah, and we are already a bit behind. Past round we had almost $6,000 worth of donations. Right now we're just at 1K. So the closer we can see later. So the closer we can get the not donations and numbers too, I think that'd be best. But that will require a significant push. It's also because of, I think it also has to do a lot with the type of projects we got. Like it's a shame that we didn't got the academy, which usually brings quite a few donors. But it is what it is.
Do we have a place where we're putting the tweets? I saw there were a couple of. I mean, we were putting them in Notion, and then I saw Tam mention that there was another place, an Airtable, where they were. And also, do we know where Nate is with like the tweets that he was putting together?
Sorry, just to jump in, I hope I didn't make more confusion. I just saw the messages going back and forth about having drafts reviewed before they're sent out. And I don't know that we're keeping it in Notion. So I just said that the comms team used to keep them in Airtable, but that was last year. So I don't know, maybe they've moved to Notion and I just don't know because I'm not really following the comms team very closely.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I think it's the Notion, but I don't know if we're still using that now.
Yeah, I think we were trying to use it last round, but I don't think we were able to keep up with it. It's the Twitter calendar that is there in Notion. We were using that to review and craft tweets, but that was also something that we didn't actually show Efra on how to go about it. And I think we just agreed on, having Efra crafting the tweets, just sending them into the group chat, and us reviewing it, and just either Isaac, Nate, or myself could post them on Twitter. So that was kind of like the way we were doing it. Then Nate, for the events, he kind of like took the 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 initiative or the lead on that, and he started crafting like sorry, like its own tweets, its own promotional tweets. Um, I'm not sure exactly why, uh, but yeah, he
Oops,
was
sorry.
doing that, so he actually didn't share them for any review, and I think that's where there was some miscommunication there with the graphic that uh, Efra has done really cool graphics, a whole branding look for the round, but we weren't able to follow up with this one. So yeah, I guess it was some sort of lack of coordination there. But yeah, I mean, going forward, we could again try to start using the Twitter calendar in Notion. I think it's useful. We just haven't used it. Um, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. If I can, I had a message pending from Kasiana. I guess the only thing I'd um mm, ask, I'll try to check in. I try to check that myself, but if we can have some sort of plan of tweets and a collection of maybe the most recent stuff, I can sort of just tell Kasiana, hey, this is a plan for this week and something like that, so that she can keep an eye open on the communications and help us amplify. Um, that'd be um, that'd be great to have if possible. Let me note that down. Um,
Also, one other question, Isaac, is well, not just a question to you, but when Nate has been doing these events, has he been acknowledging Ocean as a sponsor of the round? Because that was part of what we all talked about.
sorry, what was that?
Has Nate been acknowledging Ocean as a sponsor of the round, token engineering round, in these events that we've been doing? Because that was part of what we all talked about, and that was part of what Ocean actually agreed to.
Um, I'm not sure because they were pretty late in Turkish time. Maybe someone else here
Yeah, I can
attended.
answer. Yeah. Yeah, so as far as I know, in terms of the promotional tweets and the graphics, it has been acknowledged, both Arbitrum and Ocean. And actually, there has just been one space since the beginning of the round, that it was supposed to be kind of like this collaborative space with someone from Ocean and someone from Arbitrum. Nate was able to, well, Nate tried to contact Trent and Disruption Joe to attend. He actually got confirmation from both, but at the end of the day, like on the day of the event, only Trent was able to attend. He actually didn't, or at least that's what he told me, that he didn't uh, hear anything about Disruption Joe on why he couldn't attend. So we had this space. It went really well, acknowledging Ocean in this case only. And Nate also mentioned that he was going to try to reach out again to Disruption Joe to see if there would be any possibility to have any other space specifically with him, and acknowledge Arbitrum. But yeah, that's all. Does that answer your question, Gideon?
Yeah, it does. Thanks. I was just looking through looking through our tweets and just seeing what he included, and definitely the last event is in there, so that's good. I didn't see the earlier event, the first one they did, but I think that's probably okay. So I guess the question is, what, we've got like another week or so. So, I mean, aside from promoting the events, we can just do some like serious promotion, like try to get some more threads going and stuff. I can definitely lend a hand. And also, what role? How does all this fit together with Ephra and what he's agreed to do?
Mainly, I've been drafting the Twitter threads and creating graphics for mainly any graphics that Twitter needs. It can be banners for announcements. It can be infographics if needed. But yeah, my role is mainly drafting ideas for the threads and creating graphics for the social media. But yeah, I would love some help with that, some guidance on ideas on threads. What are we trying to communicate? What are we trying to accomplish? Because I don't have any problem with writing some threads, but yeah, I need some ideas. That's it.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Well, I'm happy to help with like brainstorming some ideas for like what we could, how we might pitch some stuff. And if you can draft it, that's great. And I don't know who else is. Sean, we're the call that you and Nate were on yesterday, was that a comms call or was that still the utility call?
We just spilled over into the comms call, and I was expecting more people to join, but no one did. So it was just Nate and I on. I don't know if I think Nate stayed, so I don't know if anyone else was able to hop on there. But yeah, it was just Nate and I for about 20 minutes, and he was mostly, his concern was the live event today, the Shill Space, which there wasn't much to plan for. Just retweeting what was already put out to promote that. So there wasn't a lot of discussion regarding comms.
Yeah, I think in regards with the comms call, I think it was working really well for the last month when Griff kind of like was taking on all of this comms work. But it was like 2-3 weeks ago where Griff, I think he went to Istanbul and he wasn't able to attend anymore. So we kind of like still had that time in the calendar on Mondays, but people couldn't attend much. I was able to attend. Last week it was also Nate and I, and we kind of like tried to use that time to plan on the event stuff. And yeah, this week I couldn't attend as well. But yeah, I mean, this is also probably a good question for the team, right? If as today it's still a good idea to have that call, and how are we gonna approach that comms work? Yeah.
It's
think-
what just a quick note is one reason I was excited for the token utility session to be at that time. I like the idea of kind of a back-to-back token utility session and then into the comms call, because people might want to really attend one of those, but then just stick around for the other one. And I think there'll also be some cross-pollination, like tech token utility discussions will probably get people thinking about comms as well. So
I guess I'll just say that if communications is our weakest spot, I think it makes sense to have that meeting to be able to coordinate and work. Would make more sense if we had someone sort of leading the call and in a way where we actually make really good use of the time. I did not attend yesterday because I'm still in Europe, around Europe, and that was a bit late here. But I'm happy we can, I'm happy to keep attending, and or we can see if we have to move the time a bit. We picked that time because that was the only time Grief had available. But maybe there's another one that fit best for everyone's calendar here. Yeah. Okay. Well, so I guess next steps, at least as far as communications, just to have this clear. I would I need to have some sort of plan. So I'll reach out later on the comms channel to see. I don't know if between Efra and me and Bear, whoever wants, we can sort of have some sort of plan ish that I can communicate to Cassiana, but also that serves us as a north star to just do some good work in this last week. Uh, then after this week, it's the round is over and becomes more of a just processing the round, which involves a bit of geek coin analysis and then size. So we also have to check option to make sure we have all the data sets available and that the tool uh, will work. It's ready to just process the data and get the results. And with that, I guess we have the round finished. But we can talk about that in the next meeting, not the top priority. And I'm very interested in talking about the next round. I think learning from these rounds specifically that we now have more to do. I think it's important if we um, just start every round right after, or even at the middle of a round, and how that looks like. We still have to talk about, but you know, from stuff as simple as making some basic branding so that we can make a really nice um, pitch presentation and have some time to actually go around some projects and try to get some money for the round and things like that, but also prepare beforehand some stuff. Now we know what's needed to make a contract, for example, or what are the kinds of things that sponsors expect from us as round operators. So having all those in mind, if we can say, if let me just open my calendar very quickly. If we finalize the whole round, say on um, the first week of December, so like the week of the 4th of December, and we can that same week start sending emails to organizations to pitch the round, that make the work for us way easier. Um, and that's, at least for me, that's becoming evident. This is now a full-time work here for the TEC. It's not anymore like a round. We just work on every 1 or 2 months, every quarter. Yeah, I'm just interested in open it up and see how everyone feels about it, and if we should start thinking about it, maybe making, or if we think it's best to, for at least for the next one, to also wait a bit before we start just prepare the stuff.
Well, I think really, really important. I think as part of this planning for the next round, and before we actually start thinking more on it, I think the retrospective is super important to have. Like really, really important. Because we've already have 3 rounds, and we haven't been able to do this exercise that I think would inform the following rounds. So yeah, I would just say that as a really critical part of the planning for the next one.
Can you repeat the last part you said? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, no, that it was just like pretty critical thing to do on the to have the retrospective. And I was also gonna mention, I forgot that probably as part of this retrospective about the rounds, I think it would also be important to have this retrospective or this reflection about the grants program in general, and how that fits into our higher level the strategy of either if that's going to be incubation, or that's going to be regranting, or that's going to be having different type of grants. I think there's a lot of work on this bigger picture that it's important to start considering when doing these rounds. So I would say that retrospective for the rounds and retrospective for the program and how that fits in our bigger strategy.
Yeah, I agree with that, Bear. I think those are really good points. My only addition would be, I think that well, actually two things. One, the more that we can systematize this through playbooks, the better. The more we can capture, because we don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. We found that these things kind of have a standard set of processes and timing and things like that. Once we know when Gitcoin date is set, then we can lock a lot of stuff down in advance. So I agree with you, Isaac. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then related to that, I think just as just as you came up with roles for the coordination team and some of the core functionality of the TEC, I think we do something similar for these rounds, right? Have some very specific roles so that the playbook is not just a set of processes and tasks that need to get done, but like we know who's responsible for doing those. Not the person, but what the role is that's responsible for doing those.
Was anyone? I think I lost you again, Gideon. I'm sorry. The last minute where you were talking, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, I just said that. Well, I don't know what part cut out, but I think playbooks are really important. So trying to get as much of this process down in playbooks because we know what these processes are and they're pretty. It's wash, rinse, and repeat. So. And then the second point is just that just as Bear did roles for the coordination team, we could do the same for these rounds. Just have some specific roles, and so that we know, who needs to do. We know what needs to get done, and we know what role is responsible.
Oh yeah, right. I do have to check. It's always on my pendings. I have to check some of and see what others are needed, at least for the things that I'm involved with. Um, but cool. Okay, so let's I don't know. Let's make just a recap, I guess. Um, round is going decent enough. Um, we have to make a really big push this last week to see if we can get the numbers any close to pass rounds. We also have to fill out the grantee sheet, the project application sheet. Between time already, it's just Sean and me to see the projects that applied last minute to see which one of them we let in and which ones we don't. And lastly, I guess for next meeting or something like that, we probably want to, at the same time we're closing the round, we probably want to start making preparations for the next one. Even if we don't know the date, I think it's. I've noticed even talking with people here in the connect, a lot of people sort of um, know and expect, so we can already sort of be opening sponsorship deals without having the specific date, because that depends on Gitcoin, and people seem to be mostly okay with that. Yeah, Tim?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm not sure what the actions are under the category of we do a big push. Can you help me understand what that looks like and who of us in here can help with that effort?
Um, yeah, I agree. It's a bit big. I was just going to, after this meeting, sit down, look at the playbook, see which things we need, which things have worked in the past, and just try to coordinate in the comms channel to replicate that again. Whatever that is, I'm just not sure what it is right now.
Is our end goal to be to bring more donors and increase donations in the round? Is that the end goal that we mean? I guess so, right? That's what we mean?
Yeah. I think it's twofold. Like obviously, primarily it's to get more donors, but it's also to um, increase as much exposure as possible to the sponsors. Because I have to tell Cassiana we're doing something, and or I have to tell Cassiana what are we doing, and doesn't seem like we have a lot planned for this week.
Okay, got it. So it's really just bring awareness to the round, encourage people to donate, and reach as far as we can.
Yeah, pretty much.
So post on like other Discord servers and Telegram groups, and of course Twitter.
Yeah, I think that should work. I'll also check in with my friend at Arbitrum, because she said she was going to do another post about the TCs round. Can't promise anything because I also don't want to bother her. I don't know what's their strategy, but if I can make the official Arbitrum handle to just tweet again, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's in their main interest, right? Since they're one of the bigger sponsors, or they're one of the sponsors.
Yeah, but no, because the issue there is the grant is not directly from the Arbitrum Foundation. So it's I don't know, it's complicated.
Okay, but
But
I guess what I'm interpreting from that is leverage both Ocean and Arbitrum, who are sponsors of this round, and their marketing channels as well.
yeah. Cassiana has been very open to just retweeting and or even posting from Ocean's account, but because we haven't been so prepared, I have never been able to um send her something with enough advance to sort of, because Ocean seems to be very formal, like they're very structured, very organized. So I at least up until now I haven't been able to send her anything with enough time in advance. But if we are able to, I think that the opportunity is there, and they are willing to help us in any way or form.
I have just an idea for, because we don't have a lot of time to like pull this together. So it does seem like one of the things we're missing is just content. Like what basically we just need to promote this and get people excited about the round itself, and then some of the projects that are in the round. So maybe what we can do is in the comms channel, just over this next day, have a little async brainstorming about potential content, and then we can, that'll give Ephra something to actually use to pull together some threads. And Ephra, I'm happy to help with that if I can be of help. But I'll kick it off with just like some ideas for some content for some threads, and then we can all just kind of jam on that, because I feel like we gotta hustle. We only have a few days, and so doing something like that, just like coming up with like just, I mean, it can be kind of like, I mean, this is promotion, right? So it doesn't have to be super deep stuff, but I think just like getting it exciting and hype, that's like the thing we need to do.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good to me. I'm down to work this week. I'm down to put the effort to get the Twitter going on. So yeah, I'm down to brainstorm on the in the group chat and start drafting some ideas.
Cool. Yeah, let's try to do it. Let me check. Tom's comment. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people. Most of our donations are all. Um, so we just have to make sure the content's there. Um, there's also opportunities with the Gitcoin team. Like they've been again open to just contribute and collaborate with us. But like they have a calendar and a bunch of resources we can make use of. I'll send as much of them over to the comms chat and see how can we make use of them. And just thinking maybe I even send an email to all the grantees, past grantees, and current grantees. All I guess you just sort of nudge on helping us promote around or even donating themselves. I don't think that's too bad to do. All right. Well, I don't know if there's anything else. I think the steps are more or less clear. Yetan?
I'd love to chat about the migration to optimism for a minute, but if we're done with the subject.
I think so, unless anyone has any other comments. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, take it away.
So Stem and I did some updating on timeline here. I think everyone has this link already, but it's just right in here under Welcome to TEC Sprints. And there's a few things. So we are like a little bit delayed, and we're still kind of at risk for not making it by the end of the year, only because the migration target is the 18th of December, which is just the week right before Christmas Eve. So we really don't have a lot of wiggle room on this plan. Turmeric Labs will provide a migration plan and DAO architecture by the end of this week and post it to the forum. And that'll be what the community can then vote on as a social indication to migrate to optimism. So there's a few things in progress at the same time. The water proposal is in the forum. Is on Snapshot. Please vote for it. So we have quorum. And once that happens, we can ask water for an exit plan. And then once the community votes to migrate to optimism, we can formally execute the removal of our liquidity from water. So these things just have some dependencies on timing. We need guardians. I don't know if everyone here has seen the forum post requesting self-nominations for guardians, but we've talked about finding people in the coordination team and in TCAN who can start to self-nominate in order for us to reach out to other people in the community who might also make good guardians and then can self-nominate themselves as well. I think right now we're hoping to have that vote happen on Friday, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think we have any people who have currently self-nominated. So we risk not being able to vote for guardians if we don't have any guardians who are self-nominating. So just throwing that out there again. There is a TAO voting front end that will start after the migration plan. And then as we will start closing or reaching out to people who have smart contracts. So we'll have to figure out what to do with the multi-sigs during this period. For the migration, the multi-sigs will have to be disbanded and maybe just, I don't actually know. We have to figure out what to do with the multi-sigs and what to do with any of the liquidity pools that exist, but we'll have to exit from them before the migration. Then in the early December timeline, the plan is to do a dress rehearsal of the migration based on the migration plan that's published this week. and then to have the final migration plan with any of the details, like meticulously detailed. So exactly what is going to happen, and it will be a TAO vote in order to complete it, because some of the permissions needed to execute the migration are part of the TAO, or part of the DAO, so require TAO voting for it. So this is the plan so far. Bear, you've been amazing in making sure that we get all of these documentations written and posted in the forum. I like praise you for this. The covenant is next. I just finished the terms and conditions, which is a draft of the terms and conditions for when we move to OP mainnet. I think it should be reviewed by a legal eye. What we needed to do is really take out any mention of Gnosis and OP mainnet, which Bear already did. But then we had some references to Gardens and Deposit Manager, and we just needed to replace it with the toll gate, which is part of DAO voting. So there'll still be a fee to submit a proposal to avoid spamming DAO voting, and that fee is not returned. So that's one of the considerations of the new architecture as well. That should be in the architecture plan that is submitted this week to the forum. So just to reiterate my concerns, our timing is very tight, and we know that the end, Christmas Eve to the end of the year is just a dead time that we shouldn't plan to do anything. So if we have significant delays, it will push our migration into January. The migration plan happening today, I mean this week, is one of those things that could push our timeline out. But I think Turmeric Labs will be able to deliver these 2 posts this week. Having Guardians self-nominate and having a list of Guardians for the OP mainnet would be great as well, of course. Yeah, that's what our plan looks like. Am I sharing my screen? Yeah, I am. Okay. Yeah, so that's it. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I see we're already at the top of the hour, so feel free to ask me if you have any questions. But the main thing is right now is we don't have any self-nominated guardians. That's the main risk to this right now. I can't hear
Yes.
anyone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, no, this is great, Sam. This is great. I'm hopeful that we can push and try to have this done before Christmas. I hope we can make it. Yeah, probably, like you say, one of the big things is the nominations. I mean, there aren't many options. Personally, I'm thinking that I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna self-nominate. I'm not sure if maybe right now would be just a good place to say if people have thought about it and are considering to self-nominate as well. The only reason why I haven't posted that is because I was just waiting for someone else to do it first, especially because I kind of like posted the forum, so I don't know if it would be a bit weird to have a lot of Bear's comments in the forum at the same time. But yeah, just for you guys to know that I'm considering that to support on this. And yeah, not sure what others have thought.
I think I also landed on the same side of the fence. I think I'm going to self-nominate as well. To be honest, I was hoping other people would do it. I'd be like, oh, there's so many, I don't need to self-nominate. Only because I do take it seriously as a responsibility. That's just the truth. I think that there is actually, you know, just and it's not a lot of work, but it's consistent work that needs to be done on a weekly basis. Does that make sense? So it's sort of like the responsibility of knowing for the foreseeable future, every week I should be checking the Guardian DAOs, voting app, and this kind of stuff, and just feel like I need to sort of be on top of it if I am a Guardian is the thing that was just giving me pause. But I think I'm just going to do it too, Bear. So maybe I'll do it first. Okay. So you don't feel like you posted it and then was the first person to respond. Well, we are past the top of the hour. I can't hear anybody. I'm just wondering if it's me or is nobody talking?
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
Oh,
Quiet crew today.
Yeah, uh, I'm not my best day. I have a bit of a headache, but anyways, was cool. Just getting back on a call. Um, I'll fill out now the application, the project application sheet, the scorecard quickly. I'll go to grab some dinner, and then I'll come back to finish the rest. Approve the projects and whatever the rest is needed. And with that, I'll catch you all later. Thanks for joining today, and good to see you again, Gideon.
feel better, Auntie. I understand everyone ended up with COVID in Istanbul. So, COVID or some other terrible sickness.
I
Yeah,
hope not.
it's really. I mean, whatever it is, it's not good.
Yeah, it sucks.
I hope you feel better.
Man, I'm super sympathetic. I had it last week and it was brutal. So I hope that that's not what you have. And I hope you feel better.
Thanks. Well,
Bye,
see you
everyone.
guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone.